So today I just wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of different e.l.f. foundations that I've been trying out lately. I've had a lot of questions about two of these in particular, really all of them, so I figured I would just do one big collective review. You guys seem to kind of like it when I group things together, so I'm going to try to make this short and sweet and just tell you how I feel about each of these products, starting with the newest one, which is the e.l.f. BB Cream. It's SPF 20. The shade I got is medium. I have to say I really enjoy this so far. I've used it probably about a week or two straight, so I've really been liking it a lot. I'm a big fan of e.l.f.'s tinted moisturizer, or at least I was. That was kind of the first foundation that I'd ever used as a teenager, preteen, whatever. I would say that this BB cream is like one step up from the tinted moisturizer, which is nice. So as most of you guys probably know by now, BB creams are good for moisturizing, priming, protecting against the sun. They're supposed to like brighten your skin, just give you an overall glow. It's a little bit more of a natural looking alternative than say a full coverage foundation. So I really like this one. I've tried quite a few other BB creams. I actually have a video all about BB, CC, and tinted moisturizers. So I'll link that down below because I do talk about the e.l.f. tinted moisturizer. This was before the BB cream existed, so I couldn't review that there. But yeah, I've tried quite a few, and I'd have to say this is up there with some of my favorites. It's really great for layering underneath foundation. I know in the winter time my skin gets really, really dry, so sometimes I'll want some added moisture. And it's also really good for days when you need a lot of coverage, so you can use the BB cream first, and you'll be able to skip the primer step, skip the moisturizer step, and just go straight into your foundation. So I really like that. It's probably one of the most full coverage BB creams that I've used. You can't really think of one that is a better coverage, honestly. Yeah, I'd say it's like a medium coverage. And again, if you want more coverage, you can just layer it with a foundation. You can build it up a little bit, but it's not like super buildable. And it is a little bit oily, so be careful of that. Like any BB cream, I think almost every BB cream or tinted moisturizer I've ever tried is a little bit greasy feeling. That's just because of the moisturizers in it, I think, and because of the SPF. So for me right now, this works really well in the winter. My skin's pretty dry. In the summer, it might be a little bit too oily for me. So yeah. The packaging on the BB cream is unique, I will say. It has this pump, and then it also has the squeezy. So that's kind of interesting. I don't hate it. I know a lot of people complain about these, but I actually really kind of don't mind it. I kind of like it. I think it's sort of cute. Overall, though, I would say that this is a really great little product. It's $6. I think that's pretty standard for BB creams. I know one thing about e.l.f. is they do tend to kind of fall like a season or two behind with makeup trends. So obviously we're on like, what are we on? I saw an ad for a DD cream the other day. I'm not even kidding. I have no idea what that is. But obviously, like, mainstream cosmetics are on to like BB, CC, DD creams. Well, e.l.f. just came out with the BB cream, but I think it's worth it. I'd rather they take their time to kind of like perfect their formulas, and I think they did a really good job with this one. Next, I wanted to talk about the HD Mattifying Cream Foundation. This is the second newest product, and again, I actually really enjoy this product, but there are a lot of negatives and a lot of things you should be aware of before picking this up. So what I really love about it, I love the packaging on it. I think it's pretty sleek for a $6 product. I love that it has this big mirror on it, and mine is really messy, but it is literally just this, this really creamy texture, which I really like. And I've been applying this with a Q-tip. I've been kind of swirling it around. That's why it's so messy with the Q-tip, dotting it on, and then using the e.l.f. powder brush, which is like a flat top kabuki brush, to buff it out. And I think it looks really, really nice when it's done correctly. I have used this product totally incorrectly quite a few times, and I will tell you about that right now. What I don't like about this is that it feels really, really light, but once you like get it onto your skin, it kind of thickens up, I guess you would say. So the first time I used this, I was like going all out, like going completely just caking it on. And it looked really good, and then I left my house and it was embarrassing. Like, it just looked so thick, and it was literally sinking into every little fine line I have, which I'm 22, I'm pretty young, but I do have fine lines around my lips, around my eyes, and like I looked disgusting. So you have to be really light-handed with this. All that I do is I dot it on each cheek, on my forehead, and like on my chin area, and that's all that I use. And then the nice thing about this is that it is buildable. So if I do those 4 little dots and it still doesn't look like heavy enough coverage for me, then I can go in and add a couple more and it'll build it up and it won't smear or smudge or anything like that. So I really like that. Another thing that I really like about this is that it is, I would say, a medium to full coverage. It's probably one of the most full coverage foundations that I own. And sometimes you just need that, you know, sometimes you just have blemishes that you want to really, really conceal. And this is nice because when I use this, I find that I don't really need to use a concealer on top of it or beneath it or anything like that. Like this is just a good like one-step foundation. So I really like that. It does blend out really, really well. Again, I pretty much use it with that flat top kabuki brush that I talked about, but I've used it with a beauty blender. I wouldn't recommend using this with your hands though, just because it is so like creamy. I feel like it would just be really, really messy. And also because of like the thing that it comes in, I don't know how you would even, that would just be gross. So yeah, so overall, I really like this. The one thing that I will say about it is the mattifying part, I think, is a little bit of a stretch. I don't really feel like this is very mattifying. I actually have it on today, if you can kind of see. I don't think I look oily, you know, I think that that's a perk, is that it, you know, it doesn't make you look oily or anything, even with it being so thick. But I wouldn't say that this is a matte look. I would say it's maybe borderline dewy. Yeah, so I don't think this is one of the most matte foundations that I have, but you know, I don't think it's oily either, so I think it's pretty good. Again, $6. I would recommend this if you have my kind of skin type. If you have really oily skin type, maybe not so much, just because it is really, really thick. Also, if you have super acne prone skin, which I kind of go in and out of, I think it depends on my diet, I think it depends on the weather, whatever, but if you have really bad acne, I probably wouldn't recommend this, just because it is really thick. Like at the end of the night after wearing this, I feel like, oh my gosh, I need to take my makeup off. I can feel it on my skin, if you know what I mean. Quickly, one other downside to this that I will talk about is the colors are a little bit kind of weird for me, because normally with e.l.f.'s foundation, I can buy them pretty well just by looking at the website or looking at the package if I'm like at Target or whatever. And this one, I feel like, I don't know if like the website swatches were just weird, or if this product, one of my friends here on YouTube did a review of this, and she said that she had the same complaint about it, is that this color was a little bit dark for me. The color that was caramel, that's the color that I normally get. I normally get caramel or like medium, whatever. It's usually like the same thing. And this one was a little bit dark for me. I don't think it looks awful, but like when I apply it really heavily, you can definitely tell that it's a little bit too dark for me. So keep that in mind. Maybe go a shade lighter, or maybe buy both, you know, the shade above and below to kind of mix them, because it was a little bit tricky for me to find the one that I really liked. Finally, I'm going to talk about my go-to foundation. This is the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation, and this is actually the foundation that I did my everyday foundation routine with. I can link that down below too, although I actually need to update that because I actually don't apply my foundation that way anymore, but nonetheless, you can kind of see the application if you would like to. This is really the first like actual foundation that I have ever used on a daily basis, anything that wasn't a tinted moisturizer or a BB cream, and I really like it. It's really nice and gentle. I have pretty sensitive skin, as I just mentioned. Sometimes it's acne prone as well, so I really just wanted to find a foundation that was going to be good for my skin, as opposed to just like caking product on it. Salicylic acid, witch hazel, camphor, tea tree, and aloe. I don't even know if I said camphor right or what that is. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of good things in it for your skin. So this is a really good foundation for beginners, I will say, or maybe for teens or people who suffer from adult acne like myself, just because it does do all these really soothing things for your acne, and it doesn't contribute to the problem. It may not completely solve the problem, and I'm not going to say that, but it doesn't contribute to it, I think. So that's really nice. I think it's a pretty natural looking foundation, and that's another reason that I find it to be really good for beginners, because you can't really screw it up. Like, this is the first foundation I applied. I'd apply it just with my fingers. I probably put on too much. I probably did it uneven. I probably didn't blend it in, but I think that it still looked okay just because it is such a light, natural coverage. I would say it's light to medium coverage. It is buildable, and again, I really like that because, especially for beginners, like if you don't know how much to put on, it's really nice. And just for those days when you need a little bit extra, it's really nice. So the only, I guess, complaint that I would say I have about this is The packaging on it isn't my favorite. It's just this like standard like twist off and you kind of like shake it up. It's not terrible, but I would kind of prefer that have a pump or something like that. I don't know. I just find that that's a little bit easier for me. So that's pretty much all that I have to say about these e.l.f. foundations. I hope you guys found this review helpful. And overall, I would say that I really recommend each of them. Just make sure that you know your skin type and know what kind of coverage you're looking for, because they are very different in those respects. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really hope that it was helpful for you. If you guys have any other products in mind that you'd like me to review on my channel or on my blog, leave a comment below and let me know, because yeah, I like trying new stuff for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.